Go. Okay. I'm doing this. I'm hoping that it works. I'll check my mic and I'll check my camera, and apparently they're working okay. I'm gonna try and solve this King of UK Red Hallett. Because the title of this is about King of UK and Red Hallett, but it's a revamped version of Atlas Shrugged with a character called John Galt, who you find at the end of the book as saved most of the characters in the book. So Greg Hallett in the UK is actually a revamped version, visual wise rather than literature, with Greg Hallett, Judge Greg Hallett, Mahoney Greg Hallett, playing multiple characters. And I'm gonna try and show you what I mean. One. We've got Dave Mahoney and Digital Warranty production on the Hidden King. It was only a small 1 minute 8 second segment, but this is just for visuals and
March 2020. The coronavirus takes full effect in the United Kingdom, and 63 million people are forced into lockdown. London streets are quiet, but rumours about the royal family are ablaze. Civil unrest breaks out. No clear leadership. Seems like there's no. But what if there was a new king? A hidden king? With this ascension to the throne and the current situation with the coronavirus, is this all tied in with this internal battle in the USA? Internal battle everywhere. It is the fulfillment of prophecy.
wait. Wanted that video if you saw it, because there's somebody watching, but I haven't gotten yes or no on anything so far. Right. With Greg Hallett, Judge Greg Hallett, you just see him walk across the courtyard. Okay, and this is about every technology that is out there, every film production technology that is out there, and with CCTV and AI, it gets to know how people walk. Gait, G-A-I-T, not G-A-T-E, of how people walk. So when you see Greg walking across the courtyard, you see him walking. So you've got the back of him, and then there's a lot of pictures of him in doorways. So this is about Trump and King of UK and the prophecy, Bible, outside the chapel with the Bible, God brings. Trump's line is of the line of Judah, King Judah, 12 tribes of Israel. The Greg Hallett that there's quite a few Greg Halletts actually, because this is about looking at people and differences and clones and lookalikes and things. So this is from like this year, because this is a new section. But this one, I've got a slow computer. Right, it's not going to bring it up, but if you see here, that is a different Greg Hallett to the one that Mahoney's got. See that Mahoney's got a really round face rather than judging Greg Mahoney actually doing. He's got a thinner face, it's sharper features. Okay, and then there was this one. Right. Right, now you can see there.
Next time, buddy, it's Lori again, and welcome.
Right, this lady was at Camelot, was what this was on James Bond Field on Part 1, but that's Greg Hallett, and that's the guy called Mike. And even though that's Greg and that's Mike, it still looks, you'd think that was Greg Hallett, wouldn't you? Yeah, and that is a Greg Hallett. But that looks more like the recent one with Greg Mahoney. Sorry, with Dave Mahoney. Right. In this one,
I created a roller coaster. I just deleted my Greg Hallett after I was still digging, and I found this interview, which made me go, ooh, you know, the needle scratched on the record. And this was very disturbing. Back in 2011.
Greg, did you want to talk about a little bit more about your background before we go to the next speaker? I'd like to get a short sort of bio resume out there to the people listening.
Okay, it's a little bit unbelievable, but I've documented everything. I trained myself in psychology, looked at psychology while I was doing my architecture degree.
Psychology and architecture degree.
Worked on the Fall Wall in Europe, and then I went to Moscow in December '89.
right, the bit where we said about the Berlin Wall, it was actually Trump, because there's a picture out there of Trump on a video. I couldn't find it this time round, but I know it's out there. It's just a split second, 1 or 2 seconds of Trump at the Berlin Wall. So I know for a fact that Greg Hallett is representing Donald J. Trump in the King of UK documentary video. Okay.
Worked on the fall of the wall. I don't know if he's talking about Berlin, Germany, which might be, because he just mentioned that he wrote a book about Hitler, and he mentions the Germans in a few minutes.
And
And then he went to Moscow.
From there, I developed reconstruction of the subconscious.
And from there, I developed the reconstruction of the subconscious.
That would be the MK Ultra. That would be the MK Ultra.
Now, this was what went off in my head. Big red flag. Big red flag.
We were actually at the position of president of the scientist club in St. Petersburg.
President of the Scientist Club in St. Petersburg.
Stayed with me for a much brief thing, and then we compared notes on
Germany.
reconstruction of the subconscious. Came out to New Zealand, stayed with me for a much brief thing, and then
Came out to New Zealand, stayed with him for a month, and briefed him.
we compared notes on reconstruction of the subconscious.
They compared notes on the reconstruction of the subconscious.
And then I was trained to do a couple of roles of my choosing.
Yes, I heard that as well. He was trying to do a couple of roles of his choosing. So that tells you that he was part of this production in the first place.
Then I was trained to do a couple of roles of my choosing. What the? Oh my! What is going on here? We are in one psyop upon another psyop.
We're in one psyop upon another psyop. It's all the movies, and we've got loads of movies out there, as well as the fake media and everything else. Okay. Now, for those of us that have kept up with it, I'm just going through this. Just shows you what I found, so that I can show you that I know that Greg Hallett, as Charlie Ward admitted to Kelly Rivers, that they knew from the start that Greg was not the king of UK. Donald Trump is the king of UK because Donald Trump is the king of the world. The line of Judah, and him being of the line of Judah, means that he is the king of kings. That is why every country has participated, because all properties for field recognises Donald Trump as fulfilling all the properties, and that is it. So there is no king of UK with Greg Hallett. He is not the king of UK. Donald Trump is the king of UK
All the time.
I've written 10 books,
And then he wrote 10 books.
intelligence books, books on New Zealand, books on the sexual practices of New Zealand politicians from
We know about politicians around the world, not just in New Zealand. Even Bojo, okay, that's not Bojo that's out there. That I can tell you for certain, that is not Bojo. And it's not Prince Charles, and it's not the Queen, because those of you that watched the state visit when Trump came over and he walked in front of the Queen, if that was the Queen, and he walked in front of Charles, if that was Charles, and he went and spoke to the guards, and the videos are out there of with Charlie Freak, takedown took about 80 with Mark Steplin, and basically all the Secret Service and the FBI and everything else, and the ones in England, that they've been covering at this for ages and ages and ages. You've got Jimmy Savile, you've got Gary Glitter. I mean, the whole of the Falabid back in the 70s. Talk about getting joined with Bank Club. Yeah.
politicians.
Books on the sexual practices of New Zealand politicians and foreign politicians.
Last year I went to Europe, in Sangreal, got the Holy Grail, delivered it to Rawson Chapel.
He went to Europe last year, got the Holy Grail, delivered it to Rawson Chapel, and he was on this mission to deliver the Holy Grail, and yet in the video that I posted earlier, he said his name meant the Holy Grail.
And returned, and it was confirmed that I delivered the Holy Grail to Rawson Chapel, and then I was made Lord Chancellor to the exiled King of England.
So then he was made Chancellor to the exiled King of England. The exiled King of England. Where did he mention this in the interview I just posted?
and adopted into the true English royal family.
And he was adopted into the true English royal family.
What? The true English royal family, not the Windsors that are Germanic. Yeah? The true English royal family, because I believe that with all of Greg's videos with common law, which is what we're going to be going into, with Masara Kasara, which was actually activated on the 2nd of November, the day before the election. Trump has already done that. Joe Coe with Charlie Ward confirmed it literally a few days ago. And well done, Joe, for finding it, because we were wondering if it had already been activated earlier this year, or whether it was going to be waiting until after the election when all this fraud stuff was going on.
Yeah. And I mentioned this to Tony, and he's like, well, they were German, and they are.
Which is my point exactly. They were German. The Windsors are German, and with ancestor.co.uk and other ancestry finding media out there, you can trace your bloodline. That's what all the bloodlines are on about. It's not about Greg's bloodline being the King of the UK. Trump's already had his bloodline proved. Melissa Redfield the World, and she's on a Freedom School Tally as well, has also done her research and found out because she does heraldry as well as the astrology, astronomy. We've got the planetary alignment on the 21st of December. Coming up to the 21st of December, which also coincides with the solar flash or the solar flare, with the 2012 Mayan prediction, but with the calendars being out of whack, because I believe it was the Vatican that actually changed the month. Like I said before in the previous video, October means 8, but yet it's the 10th month. November means 9, yet it's the 11th month. So all the calendar is out of whack, which means that because the Vatican held most of the secrets of the world, then they could manipulate dates so that we think 2012 because of the Mayans, but it's actually 2020. And 2020 is clear vision. We've got 2020 eyesight, the Great Awakening. That's what 2020 is all about. With all these false facts and everything else that's going on, POTUS, the NSA, 17th letter, and all the white hats that are trying to get the evil out, which they've done, most of the big players, and then saving the children because they were doing bad stuff with the children. I'm not even going to go there. This is about debunking, if you get me, okay?
Or the original royal family was German, so you know what that means. So isn't it interesting how he was briefed and trained by German scientists, given a couple of roles to choose from? I bet he was.
Well, the thing is that back in the war, Hitler and a few of the German scientists and whatever, or even the Austrians, all that area of Germany, all the scientists were kept under Hitler's control because they had the UFO technology, the alien technology, everything. That's why we've had the technology in the last 20 years totally become so advanced that we've gone from a brick that was a mobile phone to something so small. Even though I like to think that we've got geniuses on the planet, you have to have the technology there in order to be able to work it out. And the only technology has been about long time.
So, folks, I think I just uncovered the truth about this man. I'll keep digging, but hey, I thought his information, a lot of his information, I had dug up the same information. For example, that the Queen was born in a pub, and it was a bastard and fake. And maybe all of his research is true, but he's in cahoots with German intelligence, Nazi intelligence, right out of his own mouth.
Which is what they'd have you believe. But with, say, with Mahoney's Digital Warriors Productions, introducing Greg and following Greg's story, there is also the continuance of all the with the round table with Denise and the Chronos mentioned, and the Mashiach Messiah of Christ, Shin, and everything else. Things that over the last few weeks, like I said last time, but I don't think my video was that brilliant audio-wise. The Duke Governor of America, I believe that this is where Russell J. Gould comes in, and David Wynne Miller, who back in 1999, when America was coming up for its third and final strike with the debt from the wars and everything else, because, like I said before, bankers funding both sides, so it's a win-win for them and everything else, right? But the one thing that did, that's MC for truth, trying to debunk this, and like I said before in the previous video, what questions weren't being asked. It just seems that him and Justice were a double outfit like Piers Morgan and Susanna Reid. You've got one in your face, Piers Morgan, and one that's kind of like laid back and says intellectual words because I don't understand myself actually, to be honest, you know what I mean? But so I think that MC and Justice are part of this, and the reason why I'm saying that is because let me just try and find it. MC and Justice were following Huna Flash and the Huna family and the Huna healers, and I'm hoping this can be all right. Got 55 computer. Got 55 computer. Anyway, right. I'm actually friends with the Greg Hallett, Greg Hallett, and like I said in the previous video, on his public wall, he puts up a different personality to what you get privately in the message section. Okay, now that was a tarot reading earlier this year, 1st of May, from Anna in 8 Light. Once again, that Greg Hallett is not the one in Mahoney's production. And I'm wondering if he is the one that's done the research. I've already done these twice today. My computer decided to do a switch it off. So yeah, it's not in. Last Stag Standing with Russell J. Gould. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's the one that actually worked out the wording. He actually has got himself registered on, I reckon, through the common law, where your name isn't however you put it. You actually put a colon, then your name, then a hyphen for your second name, or if you haven't got one, there's a semicolon after that, and then you've got the surname. And the Hooner Flash and Greg Hallett, there's a connection with well, as you can see, I've already got a friend called Ashia in Australia or New Zealand that's friends with him, as well as Natalie from MC for Truth, as well as Mahoney, and Jack Edward Kidd, who was the one that did the Sour to Sour with Charles Ward, as well as Mark Devlin. So Mark Devlin's aware of him. Then Kerry from Camelot, as well as Stan. Gatuna was actually explaining the documentary with Dave Mahoney on teleportation and cleansing the earth of all the darkness with light workers, which is making a lot of sense because even Greg has said that in the documentary that you need light workers to actually charge all the power lines, ley lines around the world to, or across the world, depending on whether you were around Earth or flat Earth. I'm still waiting for confirmation all the way, to be honest. We only know what we're told or what we see. So, but Huna was trying to explain about teleportation, which is space technology. They had it in that film They Live with by John Carpenter, with it was Polypath, and there was launching off different planets, so the technology is there in a way, and there's what health upstairs anyway as well. Okay, so but basically. Right, Amazon. Right. And the one thing that JCK has said about one of her videos where you can't use her name, it's her name, she's copyrighted it, okay? So Aragon, Kyron, has got his name copyrighted and it's in the same format as Russell J. Gould. Colon, hyphen, hyphen, and then semicolon. So that's full stop at the end. Sovereign man, yeah. Universal, common law, court, I would assume common law reference, and everything else. But this is about common law, which is what we're going into. Okay, so but also yes. MC for truth assassination, Greg Hallett attempts or whatever, yeah, right. So it's been attempted assassinations about 18 times. That refers to Trump. Trump had 18 assassination attempts against him since coming to office. Okay. And then once again, Greg and with Natalie Williams and disappearance, there's an awful lot of discrepancies. What that is where Greg is doing the round table with Denise, and that's where he says about his chronos. And there just happens to be a party near him, and he says, "Oh, it's a kid party," and everything else. So he's giving you all the clues about what character role is in everything else, because Kronos, Baby Eater, would be Hillary Clinton and all the rest that were far into it as what that is. So that covers the Kronos. Okay. And we've got the Mashak Messiah Christ and the Shin from City 777, and I know I saw it when Charlie Freak was talking to Alpha Sony, and it was just literally up there for a few seconds, 3 sevens, and they look like sevens and not like the Bab of the Hebrew. So I'm going to assume that Shin is Charlie Freak, because his knowledge is amazing. His knowledge is amazing. That one, yeah. Another M secret truth sign, so wasn't M secret truth, but you were media secret truth by any chance? Is that why nobody gets the full picture? Right. Put this case a bit. I won't put the sound on. Right, so we've really got that's Tom Cahill, and he has watched
and in a video of Greg Hallett before he and
right. So M's put what so if you can do it for me. Stop that, right, okay. Stop. Right. You can see put his up there. And it's got Greg behind bars. Okay. Now, if that Greg, which is the holiest Greg, or maybe it's not, because you haven't got a full to do that. The holiest Greg, according to MP, was at centre points in New Zealand, communal bad goings on, possibility that Greg was involved, we don't know, okay? But there's also Thomas Cahill's video where Greg allegedly trying young lads with drinks. Well, that could be how they do it. So this is a movie just putting the things out there about what's about to come to light more than anything else. report number 5. So this goes back some way. Hallett report number 5. And you can see that Greg has got a full beard as well as his white hair. Okay, the white hair, document, letter, Victoria, White Rabbit, but White Rabbit is the adrenochrome, we know that. Okay, follow White Rabbit to find the adrenochrome and find out who's funding everything, and they've found everything, all the intelligence there. We have it all. That's why Trump has gone around every single country with documents and the greatest hits, as Charlie Friedman said quite a few times, of everything they've done. Like, this was a once in a lifetime opportunity for good to take back control from the evil that has been on this planet for a long time. And it's done. All we've got to do now is try and be there, because I reckon mainstream might be kaput for a bit. They've been lying about the vote fraud in America. Quite clear that Trump won overwhelmingly, red wave completely. So we're just waiting for the truth to come out by the media, which might happen sooner. Okay. Now, this video is actually interesting, so I will play it through. And I'll let the sound go, and I apologise if I screech anything because it works, but this is educational, so I'm waving at the start because you need to listen to what he says. Right, this is actually taken off the camera onto another camera, and so the quality's not good, but I will try and show you what I saw. Right, where started in this, but it doesn't in the recent ones. Okay? And he looks different. Just the whole of him just looks different.
Right, because they knew what was coming. They knew the criminal family had a claim to the throne. They came down and was refusing it. And here I am walking past it again. And the Queen was.
Once again, the face is completely different to Dave Mahoney's Greg. That is not the same Greg. I can take that to nothing. No way.
Look, the second conference finger, but I can't get a conference with it.
And even though they've both got New Zealand accents, there's just a little bit of a difference.
Well, I represent the true King of England. He doesn't seem to want to talk to me. I wonder why.
This is back when David Cameron was Prime Minister.
10208. And then we have the covering letter. We had it posted on the 24th of June, and we tried again to deliver it. And it was refused to get down to 45 today, 2nd of August. And here's the original letter that we sent.
So in June 2010, so this is going back 10 years ago. So if that's the original Greg Hallett, it was about 10 years ago.
So we're trying to arrange a meeting between the expert things.
the face is not the same as Dave Mahoney's Greg. Dave Mahoney's Greg's facial features are a lot sharper, That man's got a nice soft round face.
I must have said Cameron, requesting to be notified when we've got taken that there is a legitimate challenge to the claim. Time now is 5:30 p.m. on the 6th of August 2010. Royal Mail, we are about 1.5 kilometres from King Downing Street. And talking to King Downing Street security guards around 11 p.m. that night.
So that's August 2010.
So that's all documented.
Right. With this, you need to watch how Greg walks. Watch his gait.
Holiday movie. Nothing around in a spring zone of a so I've got the fancy going with the virtual family of the long royal family. And they have a film of life. There's some parents on holiday movies, right? Because you often what was the best thing was Queen Victoria, she had a child when she was 14. And she's married to blind Prince George of Cumberland, who became King George VI of Hanover. And the child was born in Carlisle Castle. And I've been approached by a gentleman in Portugal who claims to be the lineal descendant of Queen Victoria's firstborn son. So, we've got about 30 more marks to prison.
He hasn't got his glasses on there.
So we're not sure if we're making a fantasy or we're actually beginning a new royal family. But beginning a new royal family, when treatment was there, or treatment out of the question was the negotiated. But even though the efforts to Prime Minister David Cameron today asking for a meeting between the Exarch and Queen Elizabeth II to see what we're going to do about transfer of assets, because trustee Hallett is right to his. Well, David Cameron and then looks like her in 6 seconds as well. The things there. You said you want to play? Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get it on that. Yeah. I'm trying to get a meeting with her. I'm around since 1997.
The 1997. That's the year that Princess Diana was first died.
She's aware of the situation, and she's aware of the royal mark. And
Right, watch him walking towards us.
You're probably right. It's undeniable that we've delivered the letter to King Downing claiming as the rightful heirs of the throne of England. The one thing that is that
Nothing
they had it
enough.
by 30th of June 2000,
Joe's hair's dark.
and very definitely by, say, the 5th of August 2010.
That's the current one.
Guys, I hope you found.
That is the current one. So they've been talked about a little bit. There's a lot of body doubles, same as what's been happening in the real world. Yes. This is the trailer, the Jacob's pillow. And Jacob's pillow in the Bible was a big block of stone, and it was that big. You had to have 2 kids carrying it, and along the top there was like a curve which a pole would go into, secured by hooks at the end, and they put the wood through the holes and pick it up and carry it. So Jacob's pillow is huge, and I think with what Greg's been doing with Digital Warriors Productions is doing a story of Trump for as long as this has been going on. And I reckon this has been going on since the 80s, because I'll get to that in a minute, but this Iron Throne, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, got into position good and evil. And to say the UK, say the United Kingdom, because we were part of the, right, you notice how he walks, it's a straight gate. Not the other one that was on the video from 10 years ago. Different walk completely. A lot of this is about history, finding everything you need that the Vatican or the Phoenicians had, because they walked our history, they totally falsified it. So there's the people like Trump. Nigel Farage is another historian on the wall, anything else. So it wouldn't surprise me if Nigel Farage has got something to do with this, you know. Got all these people that are trying to find the truth about the world history. You've got old civilizations being blown up to hide all the history. So if they've actually found something, that's quite amazing, really. It's biblical. And the one thing that the King of UK followers, critics, whatever, has brought us all together on the internet when we weren't allowed to go out and socialise with this 6 feet apart, yeah, and no more than 6 in a group, and it will go on for 6 more months, or you get 6 strikes and then you get fined. They love their numbers, don't they? Yeah. So, but with the cabal, they took all the good numbers and used them for evil. So we've got to take the numbers back and use it for positive, use it for good, you know. So Friday the 13th, what Charlie Wood did a video, and Friday the 13th, October the 13th, a long time ago, Knights Templar were the ones that got destroyed. But there are other chapters of Knights Templar. I think there's 4 soldiers of Christ or something like that. I'm not too sure who mentioned it, but somebody reckons that Charlie Ward was a Knights Templar. Nothing wrong with that. They protect their good people, unlike other lodges that are out there. Right, so you've got Greg. Right. This I actually tweeted, and somebody actually done me a steal of this, because this is 5-5, this is 5 seconds, this is a comp, and in the tree, you've got a Greg. You've got a Greg. You've got a Greg with a beard. It looks like, yeah. And you've got the stick that comes down to make the Q. Yeah. This signifies Q, Protus, and everybody has already been here and got everything. Yeah. So you know for a fact that the production is all together, and it's together where we go when we go all. Both sides have got to work together to achieve a better outcome. This is what this is all about, okay? The yin and the yang. Come to the negative. This is what this is all about. And Greg Hallett, Mahoney's Greg Hallett, is John Galt. It's not JFK Jr., even though in America that's who it is, JFK Jr. But over here, Greg Hallett represents John Galt in this revamped version of Atlas Shrugged. So this just signifies that the Q team, everybody involved, has already been 5 moves ahead. 5D. Okay. Right, so in that you saw a piece of it. Yeah, finding the story common law. Right. This is from 3rd of November, so this is the day of the election. Okay. Okay, listen for a bit. Right, so going on the trip in Scotland, which coincidentally is where Jack Kidd is meant to be doing some humanitarian work. Just saying. Tom tonight, Kingdom. So when Greg Hallett, Mahoney's Greg Hallett, I said about joining the world and kingdom, that actually refers to Donald Trump, because he has united everybody during the world and kingdom. He was there at the Berlin Wall. Okay, so once again, Greg is narrator, but also multi-characters in this production to tell the story, because if you had one person for every character, that's a lot of people. So with Greg saying about he saw Donald Trump in Greece at the Smithsonian on the steps, and Donald Trump said, we're doing it this way. And then a year later, well, no, actually 11 years later, another significant number, 11 years later, Greg Hallett comes onto the streets of London in 2010. And then again, about 5 years later, or even 4 years later, 2004, 2005, there doesn't seem to be anything there. Well, I haven't found it. What is Scotland? Yeah, the Merlin. We said about the Merlin, and David Mahoney said about, as they were driving, that there was a Merlin flying next to them. It's night time now, so it could be an owl. You can superimpose a picture of a bird outside. This is where I'm going with it. You know what I mean? Right, but with Melissa read Kill the World, and she was saying, and when she was talking to Charlie Ward about the do the line of Trump, and there was a picture of the Sword in the Stone that was linking with King Arthur and Merlin, the wizard. Okay, so anything's possible because Merlin was probably something else in a previous life. This is all about reincarnation and I suppose you can go under hypnosis, which is another thing with the faces of Greg in Secret Truth with Natalie. You've got the one that looks like it's slightly like, you know, dead. That actually reminded me of when Bill Clinton was under having his face made up. And that's all part of hypnosis and K Ultra. All it takes is a trigger word or squeezing the legs, squeezing the shoulder, something where when that trigger happens, that brings them into, it's all about subconscious as well. As everything and everything, do you know what I mean? And basically, I remember the footage of Bill Clinton being under with makeup going on, and the fact that he just looked like he wasn't there, you know, he wasn't there at all. So once again, it's mimicking other factors in our history with people. Okay. So I think Merlin is part of Camelot. Get this truth out. Excuse me. So we've got the Merlin flying. And then it's not there. So we've got some
Research of ancient maps and local knowledge all point to this site as Jacob's Pillar. Stones.
Right, these are supposed to be stones.
And gave him a fake stone. Edward Longshank took that fake stone from Stone Abbey down to Westminster Abbey and used it for coronation stone 1296 to 1950, 50 days for him.
Yeah, there was a speculation that the actual coronation of the coronation stone under the throne was not the right one. A lot smaller, probably about that size.
Scottish nationalists stole it around Christmas 1950. And then in April 1951, the English fake stone, which Queen Elizabeth II found on Westminster Abbey. That stone was in Westminster Abbey from mid-1951 to 1996, and it was returned to Edinburgh Castle. So there's 1, 2, or 3 coronation stones, the stone screw, that's it.
The side here is 148 metres by sea level. Top of the side is 170 metres. 3 metres. And here, got a tree in the bottom northwest of the site, and it has 30 crow's nests in it, and the crows mark the Sangreal lineage, and this has more crow's nests in it than any other tree I've ever seen on this, well, on any sacred site actually.
Not close. Not close.
4 meters.
You're pretty comfortable with that, isn't it?
Okay, so the bottom side here is 148 meters above sea level. Top of the side is 172 meters above sea level. 34 meters above. And here, got a tree on the bottom northwest of the site, and it has 30 crow's nests in it. And the crows mark the Sangreal lineage, and this has more crow's nests in it than any other tree I've ever seen on this, well, on any second site actually. Number one, left side, 15 meters, so much secure. It's 15 centimeters by 4 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and it's got all parallel sides. Now look there, mate. These two market zones are on top of each other. They're slightly different zones, and that shows the geology. So, today is the 1st of November 2020. We're back at the site, actually on the site of the fire, which is the drama story. And yesterday, 31st of October, Halloween 2020, Sean Connery died. Now, in the vote for the most preferred King of the Scots, Sean Connery won it. And here we are the next day, 1st of November, All Souls Day, retrieving Stone and Spoon, which was meant to be King of the Scots. So Sean Connery, almost King of the Scots, so
Right. So, Jacob Sadler, got a picture. I've heard Chinese frequencies refer to Jacob Sadler as the Kundalini, the 33 vertebrae going up. So, it's not about ladders in the sky.
Okay, so here we've got a stone that is oblong. It marks this interest.
Right, this is what I was looking for actually. Compare that to the one that I showed you a little while ago with the 5.5. This is at 6:55, 6 minutes and 55 seconds, and it's not a cube at all. It is circle. He refers to it as a circle. Okay, that is not the same person as the one that was in the 55 seconds one. Okay, so once again, look at what anything else that's what's running out there.
About 5 feet. What I think, we dug this last week. We've got a whole of man-made stones. We've got men.
So we did that last week. That's all I wanted to show you on that one. I was just waiting for that circle tree rather than the cube tree to come up. And what else was there? Yes, okay. There is a film from the Untold History channel. Okay, Sergeant Robert Horton, Warcastle's overview. This is the guy who is part of the Marines, and he explains how our birth certificates were traded and how Russell Daigle and David Finn Miller broke the grammar and the numerology code to help with bringing in the Zara and bringing it into common law. I'm not going to play it. It's a little bit long, but this man refers to Russell Daigle as Seventh Angel, and says that there's a lot of sevens flying out there. So I said that Charlie Free, in my opinion, was 12 or 3 sevens, which is the chin. Yeah. Untold knowledge, hidden knowledge, playing with Mark Devlin, all the music, albums and symbology and everything else, you know, these guys know their stuff. So Russell J. Gould is the first seventh angel. Then you've got Judges Gregory Hallett, coat of arms with the 2 sevens. But if you've got the water reflection, it looks like the SS. But the water reflection and the water is us coming out of maritime admiralty law and coming into land for common law as well. This is a really good video to watch, very informative. And then there was quite a few Dr. Becker interviews with Greg. And that, yeah, that's the Charlie Frick chapter of Alpha Sony. The Big Sense TV, which is where I saw 777. And then, yeah, Chubb with Nigel Farage. I can't even describe how good it makes me feel that Nigel centre Trump. We need good people working together, and that's what's going on. We're just trying to get rid of all rubbish to get a new life, get a good life. Yeah, there's this one. Those that doubt about that, the Brahmin gag. I'm not starting on to go. No, but that is that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence, you know.
It was you, shame, but at the end of the day, it's about having a conscience. It's about doing the right thing. Yeah. What I did this morning on Twitter. I was trying to find video clip which I've spoken recently, but I can't find a recent one apart from September, and it was 17 seconds. And once again, climate change, okay, but that's not Prince Charles. I think I know who that is. Right, Prince Charles, unlike Donald Trump, hasn't tweeted since 2016. 4 years he hasn't done anything on his Twitter feed. Don't you think that's a bit unusual? You know? I could go to the Queen, but Prince Charles was enough for me as far as I'm concerned. Right. Hold on. yeah, the one thing that I was going to say was I'd have 144 videos queued up, and then the computer decided to crash. I'm not too sure why. So I've only got a few that I thought I could do with. Oh yeah, bit of good news. Bit of good news. Has anybody seen this? This was on last night. 4 minutes 44 seconds long. This is on The Truth Will Set Humanity Free. It's clever.
All right, let's go. Walk down the street, the brim road way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of the feet. Fishing nuts ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of the seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Another one bites the dust. This is boom, 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 and they were out there. Another one bites the dust. Here's another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Oh, hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And then another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And then another one bites the dust. Oh, shouting. There's plenty of ways that you can hurt a man and bring them to the ground. You can treat him bad and leave him when he's down. Yeah, but I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready for you. I'm standing on my own to be. Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Oh, yeah. Another one bites the dust. Yes, we did. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Mama, just killed a man. Put a gun up and his head. Broke my finger, now he's dead. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta leave you behind and face the road. Mama, I don't wanna die. A stone type with I've never been before now. I see a little silhouette of the man, to the fun don't go. Under the lightning, very, very breaking me. Gummy legal, I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy, coming for every time. He fights from his own constantly. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Build a wall. No, we will not let you go. Build a wall. We will not let you go. Build a wall. We will not let you go. Let me go. Let you go. Let me go. Let you go. Let me You think you can stop me and save my eyes? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, you do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned about that particular song actually because well, not concerned. This is going to be that we will be dealing. Right. I actually thought awesome and cleverly done because it was. That took a lot of hard work. Freddie would love it. Is what I said. Freddie would love it. And I've got a love heart. So I'll put this out there that maybe Freddie is alive. Trump's been playing a lot of songs like Queen, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Linkin Park, in the end, pick this one. Journey, Don't Stop Believing, because you never stop believing. You've got to don't stop believing because anything and everything is possible at the moment. Honestly. All this is supposed to be ending soon. But I can hope the fact that it's 4 minutes and 44 seconds. I did read music when I was at school, and it's been a long time, but it's it sounds like it's like 4 beats to the bar, and 44 bars or something. 4 beats per bar. I'm not too sure that's just anything. 444 makes 12. 1 and 2 and 3. 3 is the magic number. Putting that out there. Yeah, and Jason Q did a lot of reveals with Charlie Ward the other day with Paradine and Liz 5D. So many drops, unbelievable. So thanks guys for that. I'm going to give you a mention because that was really good. For those of you out there, I just love this. Honestly, I love this.
Have you ever wondered why we go to war? Or why you never seem to be able to get out of debt? Why there is poverty, division, and crime? What if I told you there was a reason for it all? What if I told you it was done on purpose? What if I told you that those who were corrupting the world, poisoning our food, and igniting conflict were themselves about to be permanently eradicated from the earth? You might think that an idealistic fantasy. Well, let me tell you a story. We acknowledge there are criminals, of course. They rob your house, they steal your phone. They can murder you too if they think they can get away with it. We have all experienced criminals in one way or another. Criminals, as we know, are those who choose personal gain over the rights of others and have no regard for the law. But here is where you need to expand your thinking.
Just a little bit.
Criminals can also succeed in business and politics and can be elected as our leaders. If a criminal became the president, imagine what they could achieve. They could use the full weight of their executive power to commit much larger crimes and ensure they and their friends were enriched to the fullest extent possible. A criminal president could create alliances with other criminal presidents and then collaborate on more global criminal activities. Anything goes. Drug running, human trafficking, whatever makes the big bucks. The 20th century was turbulent with war, economic disaster, famines, and displacement. We have always accepted these things as just human nature, simply the way the world works, something inevitable, due to the weaknesses of human nature that drive us to these actions. This is where we were all tragically wrong. You are not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. So how can we just assume that it is human nature that is driving all this pain and misery? What if it wasn't human nature at all, and as a result of something more deliberate? We were taught that capitalism was the cause of a massive rich-poor divide and the reason for poverty, which in turn is the reason for war, crime, and starvation. Others were taught that communism, the system of equal wealth across all people, was really to blame for the mess. But you see, folks, it is none of these things. It is not our nature to fight and be racist. It is not in our nature to rob from others. What you must learn is that it was the criminals all along. Yes, they got power. More power than a criminal should ever have. They rose to the top of media companies that control our news and entertainment. They ascended to the top of the banking system, also to the Oval Office, to Brussels, to the Vatican, to the Crown. They crept in quietly. They became leaders of agricultural companies who had control over our food supply. Also big pharmaceutical companies, the ones we trust to help us when we're sick. Nobody stopped them, and they just recruited more criminals to help them. First, they accumulated the world's wealth. They invented a system of money called central banking, which lends money to governments with interest, placing countries into eternal debt. People's wealth got less. Their wealth got more. Much more. When a criminal is already as rich as they can get, and protecting their ill-gotten gains becomes the priority, angry citizens tired of being poor are a major obstacle and can revolt if they suffer enough. The criminals needed to prevent this, so they diverted attention to the last remaining competitor, the people of the world, you and me. We were not happy being ruled by criminals and having to work 3 jobs just to survive. They know we won't accept it, so they use their control of the media to set black against white, woman against man, young against old, Muslim against Christian. They convinced us we were the problem so that we would fight and destroy ourselves. To get it done faster, they attacked all aspects of humanity that make us strong, like family, using their influence over culture. They popularized lifestyle choices that led to a surge in broken homes, lost youth, and substance abuse. I could talk all day about how else they deliberately weakened us, and it would turn your stomach. We were just trying to get on with living. So where are all the good guys? Good people just want to get married, have kids, make a living, and enjoy their liberty. Well, there were good guys, many. One became the President of the United States in January 1961. He knew about these criminals and wanted them gone. He knew their intentions for us all, and he wanted to fight them. Sadly, he had no idea how powerful they had become. Reagan also had good intentions for the American people. He knew this criminal mafia controlled almost everything by the stage, including powerful rogue intelligence agencies. His economic policies were promising, but the criminals needed a weak America to hold on to their power. Reagan was shown with a bullet that a growing U.S. economy and prosperous citizens were not what the criminals wanted. It was looking pretty grim for good people. Every time someone wanted to stand up and do the right thing, they got stopped. Were we ever to be freed? These criminals are also known as the deep state, or cabal, because of how they control things behind the scenes. Every president after Reagan was one of these deep state criminals, and their empire got even stronger. With each bad president came new depths America and the world would sink. The world collapsed into darkness. Do you need me to tell you how? Destroyed factories, declining job numbers, sicker people, opioids, destruction of Iraq, Syria, and Yemen with pointless war, displacement of people into Europe, ISIS, terrorism, collapsed governments, poverty, and genocide. Total misery. Do you think that was inevitable? Hell no. Well, here's where things start to take a new turn. When the full picture comes to be known, it will forever be regarded as the greatest story ever told. Well, here is the top line. Some good people still held positions of power. They valued humanity and the rule of law. While the criminals discussed their game plan at the annual Bilderberg meetings, the good guys were making plans of their own. The information age was coming to change history forever. As the internet flooded into every home and appliances became smarter, and when people started carrying tracking devices, an opportunity to put an end to criminal control over the world was emerging. We became connected, trackable, and surveilled. But so did they. They became dependent, just like we did, on email, SMS, instant communication. It made crime much easier, but it also put them on a grid that, if accessed by the right people, would expose their crimes to the public and end their iron grip on us once and for all. In this new age of information, it was thought that the military should also have its own intelligence agency to focus on cybercrime and espionage. They called this the NSA, National Security Agency. Here we had every phone call, email, and text from every device stored and archived, whether it be someone making a doctor's appointment or the deep state setting up a massive heroin purchase from the Taliban. In the right hands, it would be enough information to expose the entire sinister criminal plot to rob us blind and wipe us out. Hold that thought. Now I need to explain the plan. The good guys were devising a plan to reclaim the world from the cabal and return it to the people. It would involve alliances with multiple countries, since the criminals had global ramp-lines, trade, and other infrastructure in place that would need their cooperation. It came down to two choices for America: launch a military coup to seize the government from whichever cabal puppet was in the White House at the time, or win legitimately, take control of the NSA, expose the criminals for what they are, and arrest them all. Obviously, the first option would be very troubling for the public. With people still preoccupied with cabal-engineered social issues, they would likely revolt and hurt themselves and others. No, it would have to be the latter. So they needed a candidate who could win, and who could win big. Many states like California had been so heavily inundated by criminals that even the voting machines were electronically set up to swing votes any which way. It would need to be a very decisive victory. Good patriots in the U.S. military and their global partners asked Trump to run for president so they could take back control of America legitimately without alarming the public. Trump was a good choice, obviously, because he overcame the voter fraud and won. But he was a patriot, and he was loved and admired by the public. He was not interested in joining the cabal because they hated America, and he did not agree with them on that point. As soon as he showed interest in taking power, they activated their media assets to viciously turn on him. That's when we saw the sudden hatred emerge. Even when he won, the cabal still had no idea what he was a part of, and the sophisticated plan that was about to unfold against them. Shocked at their loss, they mobilized their full arsenal of intelligence, media, money, and technology to try and take back power. Their people at the top of the DOJ and FBI then put together a plan to frame Trump and have him impeached. This is where we come back to the NSA again. All messages were stored and could be used to expose the squad and prevent Trump's overthrow. An entire book will be written about the first 2 years of Trump's presidency: false flag terror attacks, down planes, missile alerts, assassination attempts. Here is the point. The world is currently experiencing a dramatic covert war of biblical proportions, literally the fight for Earth, between the forces of good and evil. I can't put it in simpler terms, but I can say it appears the good guys are winning. The cabal had complete control over North Korea. They hijacked the Kim dynasty, took them hostage, and worked to build up a nuclear arsenal to threaten the world. Kim Jong-un suddenly embracing peace was simply because the deep state were beaten and driven out. ISIS was also destroyed in the year following Trump's win. We are all starting to see the pattern now that enough time has passed, and our biggest global concerns are starting to recede, and peace is returning. It is all evidence that the good guys are winning the war. But we're still in the middle. While a lot is improving, it still puzzles many that most of these known criminals are still free, especially the higher-ups like Hillary Clinton, the Bushes, and Obama. That is coming in the next chapter of the story. That's why we have Q. The good guys with control over the NSA began the Q intelligence dissemination program, broke an online grassroots movement that came to be called
the Great Awakening. It started on underground internet channels and then moved to the mainstream. Q has been a fun distraction for those who follow world events and desire truth, but it is about to begin a much more important and necessary phase, keeping the public informed when the deep state war breaks out onto the surface. By this, I mean high-profile arrests. Yes, folks, the criminals I'm referring to are famous politicians, actors, singers, CEOs, and celebrities, people who have earned our trust, respect, and admiration. They have done very bad things that are all fully known and documented, and they will be severely punished. Those of us who have followed Q since the beginning will be here to help you make sense of the coming events. We are among the first to realize that our petty partisan divisions are just trivial distractions, and we are all enslaved by a hidden enemy. We realized that the problem was never capitalism or socialism, Democrat or Republican, black or white, Muslim or Christian. We know it was just very powerful criminals who had too much power. Fellow slaves, it's time to buckle your seatbelt, recognize your true enemy, and embrace a new future that we all owe to the brave patriots who risked their lives to achieve this victory against the greatest force of evil the world has ever known. May God bless America.
And the world. And the world. House. House. Volunteers, the whole lot of them. I spotted this earlier, actually, I just called it. Silly Booth from Bones. And that was what, when Emma Seeker of Truth and Justice, what was his name? The security guard with the baldy head with the bit of a bump. That was what that picture was all about, was the soldiers, the actors, most of the actors out there, especially like Jesse Ventura, are former Navy SEALs, military or whatever, and they've gone into acting or gone into something else. So meanwhile, so if you've got that experience, then they were called, or they volunteered. They were volunteers. Then meanwhile, you can't ignore the call when it comes to children and babies with that sort of badness going on. We're not there for me. I'm sort of blubbering at the moment, but going on for the past 4 years, and I think even further back than that, because there are white hats, famous people that have joined them through witness protection program to help get all this started in the first place. And I believe that Trump and I've got a suspicion about Camilla Parker Bowles as well, because I know that she covers children's charities. Okay. Well, you have to notice this channel is Truth is That Humanity Free.
Today I felt called.
And this is the Doug, and this is the Simple as Greg Hallett, one of Joseph. Okay, so when I said in the previous videos about Greg Hallett, common law court in the family of Joseph, or of the Joseph family, saying the Trump is of the Jubilee, these the 12 tribes of Israel, and Israel is the sons of Abraham. Abraham, you know, we all come from Abraham, we all come from one of the 12 tribes, or I believe, unless of course you're a bad entity that's on here in whatever dimension you're in. Really, like, because I could think what's like that at the moment, but what I will do is put this on full screen for you. I already know what I want to say about this, but I'm gonna let you watch it while I just go and make myself a cappuccino. Powder by those, because it's really
I was doing some research. I don't know, those of you who watch the Deception Bites channel, I love that woman. She put out this information about a man named Joseph Gregory Hallett, who is claiming that he is the rightful heir to the throne in England. So I wanted to see what his relationship is with the throne. Who is this man? I'll leave links in the description box below so you can do further research on what I'm talking about if you're unfamiliar with it. Interesting reading. Okay. Part of the reading I'm seeing the tower, he's shaking things up big time. Bottom of the deck, he's got the justice card. So there's something about what's going on with the situation that is just, it is there, it is right. Okay. We got the tower, he's shaking it up. I put Joseph Gregory here, and I put the throne here. Okay. So he shows up as the Page of Cups. And it's interesting that he should show up as this card. He is surprising people with his claims. And the Wheel of Fortune. So there's some sort of destiny going on with what he's doing. Surprise and destiny. There's a youthful feeling about what he's doing. Showing up as a page tells me that he's in the early stages, beginning stages of his journey. Unlike the knight or queen or king, the page has a youthful feel. So perhaps there's something very new about what he's doing. He has yet to attain mastery with what he's doing. All having to do with destiny. We get the Nine of Cups, the Wish Come True card, leading up to the devil over here at the throne. Now, the devil may represent restrictions in terms of the throne, like having to abide by certain laws or rules according to what this man represents. And he badly affects the other two cards. We're calling them usurpers. In this reading, I would say that his family, his royal family that's sitting on the throne, indeed are usurpers. We see the surrender card, and we see the 10 of Wands here. We've got 2 10s, which is completion. Okay, so I wanted to stop here and point out the fact that these 2 10s are significant, especially the 10 of Wands, which suggests to keep plugging on, that you're almost to the end, and it just needs an extra effort to go forward to complete. Somewhere I had read that when a queen or king gets coronated, they sit on a throne which sits over a bending stone. And one of the significances of that is that to keep in mind when you're sitting on that throne, you're actually a placeholder. And I always wondered what that meant. A placeholder for what? And this could very well be that answer. We've got the star card in the subconscious, which is showing the throne being vulnerable to this influence. We've got the Four of Swords showing up here in the subconscious for Joseph, and that his agenda is 3/4 on the table and 1/4 hidden. There's something hidden about what he's doing. Readers can say it's hidden or occulted, even from himself. He may not even know what that hidden factor is. Something's not quite on the up and up. And it looks like he might not understand the whole thing himself. The Ace of Cups, I've come to know in my readings as Christ. You got the Holy Spirit there with the column, the dove. You got the sign of the cross here. You see the chalice and the host for the Holy Eucharist, and the card talks all about love. This card is the card of Jesus Christ. Christ consciousness, shaking everything up. What is crowning this reading is balance. So this is, in some way, this is in an effort to restore balance. You get justice and temperance showing up, and the tower. This is the disruption to bring balance. One of the things that is deeply encoded in the temperance card is a sense of time. And because it's a major arcana, we're talking about a long, long time. It's looking like, from this reading, that there will be a surrender. But not without a struggle. And 2 cards of completion. This family that's sitting on the throne will probably not be sitting there much longer. This man is coming in the name of Christ. He is coming in the name of the Merovingian bloodline. When we're looking at Joseph, are we looking at the Antichrist?
Yes and no. Many personalities.
Lots of pages showing up for this guy. I want to give a shout out right here to Tara Bajani, an incredibly gifted seer and teacher. And recently, Tara Bajani opened up a new meaning for this strength card for me, one of lineage, which I will refer to later. But it's looking like the lineage, with the pages next to it, is unfolding or bringing a newness or ushering in something new through his lineage into the world.
I would interpret that as bringing the Sarakadara. It's all the bloodline families of the good, all the bloodlines of families of the good. It's amazing, it really is.
There's a sense about him to show up, right? If I ask that question, it's yes. I think it's yet to be determined. I think that he's just beginning his work and just beginning to know who he is, and that he is tackling at least this situation with a great deal of courage. Again, there's something about his lineage that is true. You see, the tarot did not answer my question. Something's not being shown here with his agenda, maybe not even to him, because this is subconscious.
I'll talk it there, subconscious, MK Ultra. You can program something to reveal so much, but there's something not quite there. Okay.
But with this card coming up, you've got to keep an eye on this. Remember, though, that there is something about this that is not only destiny, but it's going to restore balance, and it's going to bring into justice certain things. And the 9 of Swords came up when I asked if he's coming for goodness, and there's an anxiety card, 4 of Cups, Seven of Cups. So next to anxiety, you're looking at an ignorance of or a refusal to see. Having that Seven of Cups there shows that it's very unclear and confusing, shrouded in a fog. Interesting. And let's click a few more for the throne, because as we can see, he makes them feel vulnerable. There's this active surrendering, but after struggling with it, 210's completion, and we've got the devil there, so he's definitely calling out the family that doesn't rightfully belong to the throne. We've got another card of completion. So we see with this Four of Wands that there's celebration. There seems to be completion with the World card there. The Four of Rods, this is an opening. Whenever you see an opening in the cards like that, it can suggest a gateway. It can also suggest firm foundations, home, power. And independence. When I went back and I looked at that Nine of Pentacles, I remembered that the Nine of Pentacles brings a sense of harmony. And with the Four of Rods, which she's next to, is a celebration of this harmony. With that King of Swords there, you would think that there was something written or spoken or passed down about this ruler who will come in and take the throne back, right? And with the Eight of Swords there, it's an occulted reading or writing that we're drawing from. We got to keep our eye on this situation. There's something destined about this. There's something that's going to shake up everything about this and expose certain things about this family and about Queen Elizabeth. And that's how clear was my reading, and the Knight of Swords came in. So it seems like this is going to be new news for people. They're going to feel like they're going to want to go out and research this for themselves. And it was brought in with haste. So kind of it was. I'll revisit this situation again soon. As always, take care of each other, take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.
I'm going to add a bit of input to that because Greg Hallett come on the scene and all the info that he's put out there has definitely shaken up those that have heard about it. I've got a few friends about that have never heard about it, so I'll just give them some information. It's not Greg claiming King of UK. It's not Greg. This is the story of what's been happening behind the scenes with Trump and the White Hat and all the characters, people, politicians, whatever, royal families that are out there. So Greg is actually playing multiple real people, but as Greg Hallett, like John Galt in Atlas Shrugged, as you find out at the end of the book, it's him that played all of it. So it's a really clever way of doing it, but there's another reading after this that I'm going to play because this is where with more insight, this gives you a little bit more.
Hi everyone, it's with Amy. Today I wanted to follow up on my Joseph Gregory Hallett video. I wanted to look at the perspective from starting with the crown. Now, last time I started with the perspective of Mr. Hallett here and the crown here. So today we're going to go from the perspective of the crown. How does the crown see Joseph Gregory Hallett?
used to do tarot, and I've still got my deck. Same as crystals.
Okay, so as you know, we put the crown here. We put Mr. Hallett here. What came popping out of the deck was the Six of Pentacles. So there's a sense of perhaps being all in the family, if you will. Then came popping out the Seven of Rods, which is a card of defending yourself, where you are, your placement. Right? Then bottom of the deck revealed the Ace of Pentacles. Perhaps you're seeing a pass off or a handover of wealth. And then the Two of Rods came flying out. I had two cards come flying out. So let's remember, these came flying out. This is at the bottom of the deck. So this is long range goals and planning. This, I get a sense of being all in the family, right? And in this, I get a sense of a defense going on. So we're looking at from the perspective of the crown. They feel vulnerable. Look at all these major arcana showing up for the crown.
Very big deal. Very big deal.
We've got only one for Hallett. So there's a sense of vulnerability of the institution. The institution feels vulnerable, and the last reading we got this too, that they felt vulnerable. But this is the completion. This is their completion. And it butts up again with Hallett showing up with the Four of Swords here. So something's not up and up, something's being hidden with this. And the last time we brought out even hidden to himself, right? So he's showing up as the Queen of Swords, which is the card that I use to represent Queen Elizabeth. So, you know, she could be surrendering this, according to this reading. Butted up from the Empress. So we have a sense of, these are two very feminine cards coming up for Mr. Hallett. So you get a sense of him occupying that throne. In the Empress there would say, you know, sitting in the position of the Queen and acquiring the riches. You know, remember, bottom of the deck brought out the Ace of Pentacles. So perhaps handing over the riches of the crown. We've got a heavy feminine energy here. And I believe that there's something, you know, Queen of Swords, there was something written or passed down from a woman in power.
The actual text reads, Joseph Gregory Hallett, so Joseph Gregory Hallett's great times 12 grandmother, Queen Anne Boleyn, whose great times 11 grandmother was Queen Eleanor. I'm assuming that's Aquitaine. We've got the Queen Eleanor Cross in Northamptonshire, or in Northampton, up near way top of London Road.
To bring him in, a very rich woman in power to bring him in. But you can see Mr. Hallett has some anxiety about this, and we'll open that up in a minute. Facing the reading, we get the Two of Swords. Now I've come to know this as a occulted card. Indecision is there, or not wanting to see is there, or seeing in the dark, right? An occulted situation. And we get the Fool in the very middle.
Yeah, this is a bit. It says, I was named the Fool in 1980. My co-author was the Joker. Now, I've done some research. I haven't got it on my queue or anything else, but as in my YouTube video queue, not 17. Donald Trump had a book out in 1980, and he was named a Fool, but the picture on the book was with the face of the Joker from Batman. Okay, So you've got two references there for one person, okay? The falls can also refer to Princess Diana, because she didn't know about Camilla until after she got married to Prince Charles. And when she found out from the palace staff, the wording in the paper was she probably felt like a fool. So once again, but Diana was also known as a joker, because she was always pulling pranks, like I said before, she was always pulling pranks. But Camilla Martha Bowles was also a joker, a bit of a pranker. So the fact that you've got, this is what I was interpreting from the cards. Like I said, I've got my own deck, I haven't put them for a while, but I resonated with Anna's reading, is what I'm saying. Now, the Queen of Swords and the Empress, the two female influences, and the Fool, who's right in the middle, which will come up later. You've got these three power bases, you know. I mean, everyone could refer to Greg Hallett as a fool because he's doing this, and people regard him as a fool because, oh, you haven't got, you know, what are you talking about? You haven't got a chance, right, you know. And like Media Seeker of Truth bends it a little bit to sort his narrative, you know what I mean? And Justice is that. Yeah, like I said, I've not been on YouTube for a bit because I've been going over and watching everybody else's things off. And anyway, let me play out a little bit more.
Middle of the reading, which is going on a new journey, or can be coming back from another journey. It's 0, so it's both completion and a beginning. Okay. And then judgment comes out, which is a wake-up call. In the subconscious, with the crown, we get the Queen of Pentacles. So that's a very grounded card. It's a card of a woman with a lot of money. I could see that as being Queen Elizabeth. And it's interesting the way my cards are talking, because usually I have this be Queen Elizabeth because she is sitting on the throne, right? Those of you who know me that I've been reading this card as Queen Elizabeth when everybody else has been reading it like this. And this, because she is an earth sign, I would agree, but she's in an accelerated position, and because of coronation and things like this, I've equated this with Queen Elizabeth. But as you can see, she comes back down, so I'm seeing that as maybe...
Yeah, right, so Queen Elizabeth abdicates Joseph Gregory, okay? So they didn't say Greg Hallett. Joseph Gregory is a new name, really, you know. So basically, my interpretation would be that when Greg Hallett, Mahoney's Greg Hallett, character, like John Gold, was saying about with the interview with Mahoney, in Coffee with the King, or even the first one, the Hidden King, the first one, it was saying it's already happened, like, you know, big ceremony or a little ceremony, or the fact that something's happened, an event has happened. Now, I feel that for the last few years, with the lineages and everything else that's been going on, families involved have been doing their research, accumulating the needed, especially the Stone of Destiny, the coronation stone that the Queen didn't sit on. It was a fake one, like we said earlier. It was a fake stone. So if they've got the actual proper coronation stone, it means that they are the royalty, they are the crown. So the Queen has abdicated to Joseph Gregory, but she didn't. She abdicated to Trump. because it was Trump that went in with all the intel, we've got it all, NSA has got it all, and basically every single country, every single royalty, apart from the good royals, like the Crown Prince that helped Trump with all the media when there was attempted assassination of him at the Mandalay Bay hotel where that gig was on, the music festival was on, so there was a good playing and there was fire shots everywhere, and they thought it was pyrotechnics, but it wasn't, it was gunfire. So we know that the Queen's advocated to Trump. Whether that was the Queen when the state did it, there's speculation on that because of the simple fact that what the family, Windsor, Saxon and Gotha were involved with the children, that would be reason enough for Trump to have them removed permanently. Yeah.
And abdication, that perhaps she will. And this will be passed on. So let's look at why the anxiety. Because of the surrender.
Anxiety because of the surrender, whoever is on the throne, whether it's Trump or whether it's Princess Diana, I think that Camilla, Princess Diana and Trump and JFK Jr. and all the families, when Greg said in one of his documentaries about meeting with royal family 1981, just shortly after Diana married Charles, and then she finds out that he's a commoner, and she said, I said, I've married a commoner. Whether that's true or not, and that conversation did happen, but there must have been some research going on back then with the family, you know what I mean, right? Because all these nobles, like Diana, the Spencers, and the others that are out there, their roots to England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, which is the United Kingdom, it's them countries that have, well, Ireland is where Trump's Tudor line ended up in Terror, Terra. There's the grass little hill with what looks like the 8 symbol, the infinite root thing, yeah. So all the signs and symbolisms are there. Elizabeth Redfield the World, like I said before, has done the history on this. It's all about the true bloodlines of the country, but also the 12 tribes of Judah, and just going back to God's law, common law, and taking everything that the Cabal has accumulated over the centuries, millennia. If you think about all the treasures that the Templar Knights had accumulated, I would assume that a lot of that treasure was actually kept safe because it was meant to be in Solomon's mines or something. So once again, all the wars over in the Middle East and everything else is where that all the history was with that.
Yeah, in my last reading of this guy, what I got was that
Wording says the throne is definitely surrendered to Joseph Gregory Hallett. So once again, you've got the full name of Joseph Gregory Hallett. Yeah, I still think it's Gregory Hallett, but the original Gregory Hallett, because I finished it out there. Of the line of Joseph.
Definitely that the throne would definitely surrender their position to him, and that he himself was not fully aware of the ramifications. There was something hidden from him, because This card was in his subconscious, the Four of Swords, right? So now we're beginning to see a little bit of anxiety about this taking place. And then when I wanted clarification of this, I got the Hanged Man, which is the Let Go, Let God card, but it's an enlightenment card. It's seeing things in a new way. And I think as he begins to understand his place, brings out the moon in him, or in his mind. Moon card is a card of deception. I wonder if he's a fire sign. I'm not sure. I think he's an earth sign. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. But this would be perhaps it coming forward through this abdication and through him taking it over, that he starts to see things in a new way. That
Physically, Hallett sits on the throne in a new way, in the ways that were hidden. Okay, so ways that were hidden. We've had looking at the evil families in Europe and in the UK for the last 200-300 years. I reckon that it goes back as far as William Wallace, that the throne was actually usurped around that time as well. So it's a new way with Trump, King of Kings, on the throne, okay, because he is not evil, he is of Christ, he is of Christ. His father's middle name was Christ. They kept the name in the family so that it was their way of asserting the fact that they were of the Christ line.
in the ways that were hidden, and he sees himself sitting on the throne in a new way. Yes, we know that this is the end and the beginning of the journey, and
Right, got Joseph Gregory Hallett in the full, perfectly placed where he is in the middle of it. So you can read that as Trump being the fall because he's right in the middle of it. Yeah. Which is also Greg Hallett's position as the actual representative of all the characters is right in the middle of it. Okay. And like I said, the fall, Trump, Greg, Diana, there's, plenty of, there's even Jack Kidd, who said about the 18, yeah, and he said he could be Murdoch. Well, B.A. Bradford, Mr. T's character, always said he's always calling the fool. You know what I mean? So, that's my interpretation.
boy, that couldn't be more perfect with this reading. All right, well, let's keep our eye on this. Let's see if this is indeed what happened.
Let's see if the phone gets abdicated, is what's been put up. Except it's G-E-S-T, so that's phone gets abdicated.
That the throne gets abdicated. I'd be surprised, I really would. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you, and we'll see you next time.
That really got mine, that's on the video. Yeah, it's about the Ashley McLean.
You completed a lockdown that you will never suffer. Some incredible moves pulled there. Amazing effort all round. Thank you.
Bear in mind that Greg Hallett said that all this NHS was new Hallett sovereign. Yeah. And that's why they were clapping and everything else. Not too happy with Denny Henry at the moment because he reckons that whites need not help African people anymore.
In some strict professionals for keeping the nation
Bad education.
all over the country. All over the country. All over the country. All over the country. But first, for a rather special treat, I believe we're going straight to Norfolk, where we join the descendants of one of Britain's most famous families. His name, oh my goodness, is Lord, lovely Lord, check this out. It's true.
Met him.
Oh, come on, you not. You don't care if I'm to be punctual. I'm here, Doctor. Oh, Your Highness. Very good to see you there. Come on, I'll do it. Sorry about that. Complicated stuff, dude. It is. How I love you. Have you felt like this? Yes, I'm here with my old friend Lord. Our grandfathers fought together. Constantly, I'm told.
Yeah. Just sort of pause it. You've got the chess game, even though Trump plays 5D, you've still got a chess game, so I'm passing that as a marker. I think I'm looking signifies on Trump's side. Yeah, there's still a lot of reversing audio.
Well, no, he brought along a curious of a fellow called Bourne. So, how's that on the school? Bit of line already. Well, I can help if I can. What subjects are on the curriculum? Spelling?
Yeah, spelling. Be careful what you say and what you write, because you can manifest it.
Well, I can probably help with that. It will be most words from cat to contradictory. Don't run it. Don't run it. Don't run it. What about history? Well, not too bad on King and Queen, but then I'm guessing that may also be more strong. You think so, wouldn't we?
So, quickly put this up about this is Prince William actually publicly advocating. They don't do it in great big headline news. They do it as a visual message with clues in what they say or things that are placed around them. It's all about picking up signs. Yeah, English is basically German backwards, is what the people.
How's the French? J'espère que j'ai une fois défini éducation. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea who WHO, who you're talking about. So that's the World Health Organization.
We have no idea what you're talking about. Happy to say upset. And to return to the matter in hand, this is your second warning. No, because you face it. No, that's right. No, because you face it. No, that's right.
No, hey,
no, you face it. No, that's right. All right, thank you so much. I'll go get the family together.
I like the Mafia. Let much on missing a girl. With speculation that Prince William was missing about what he was noticing.
By the way, have you seen anything good on the Caroline defenders? They told me Tiger King was out of them. Yes, I told you about Church about royalty. And it's now 45 seconds down, and counting down, I think that time is up. On my way, let me see if I can find my stuff. So how much you?
yeah, Prince William's supposed to sort of like bow his head and show he's got no crown, he's got no hair or whatever. This is why, you know, we said about the white hair doesn't mean the white creature, it means hair, H-A-I-R. Watch the hair. And no clothes, emperor with no clothes. You see into what they really are. You see into what they really are.
Let me get it up. Let me get it up. Let me get it up.
There's an awful lot of audio manipulation that goes on, so you can only take.
Excellent. Job diddly done, done, done.
Yeah, excellent. Job diddly done, done, done. Diddly. A thing of no value, a flaw, malfunction. Done, done, done. Terminated. The malfunction of Prince William has been excellently terminated in favour of Greg Hallett, but once again, Greg Hallett is representing Trump in the Hidden King story. Still, and then they go outside coming to the NHS, except for it's coming as new Hallett sovereign, but I've actually thought about with all this new technology that's coming out, the healing technology, whether it's a new health service, a bit like you know, where you pay monthly or twice yearly or yearly for this health service. Patriot Parabellum team actually has downloaded this new app. I have got it on the computer, and basically you he rates it highly, and basically you get a glass of water, which is where a glass of water with Hula Flash comes in, because be like water's the healer. They Patriot Parabellum says they kind of like go through your phone, you put your headpieces to the glass, and it's like a vibrational harmonic that goes into the water, and you drink it, and that enables them to do a scanner view, and they found out all kinds of things that he knew that he had, or had a suspicion that there was something going on. So that could be the new health service, because if that's the case and it comes from wherever it comes from, then basically hospitals won't be required unless it's for, you know, more extreme injuries or whatever. But the all this new technology that's coming out, so they're happy. Yes, the malfunction of Prince William is that he is no hair, the emperor with no clothes, excellently terminated in favour of Greg Hallett, Trump, whom he now platforms as the new Hallett sovereign NHS, or it could be the new health service. How about new heavenly sovereign? Trump comes from Christ, is been called by God to help. Putting that out there.
Wow, what a way to start.
Yeah, part of the monarch bit, I'll come out of that because it goes on a little bit with all the tapping that's going on, so we don't need to see that. But I just wanted to kind of like decipher what they were saying. Okay. And finishing up for now. I hope that's been helpful. Like I said, just my views, my theories on what's going on, and thanks for sticking with me in 2.5 hours, wherever you are. So, yeah, I'll catch you next time. Take care, and where we go, when we go all.